We recently paid our own visit to the Isles of Lewis and Harris in the Outer Hebrides, which, even in the 21st century, reward visitors with a rare sense of isolation at the edge of the world. How then must Samuel Johnson and James Boswell have felt when touring the sparsely inhabited Western Isles of Scotland in the 18th century? Fortunately, we need not speculate on such matters, for both men kept and published journals of their travels. Here I'll be looking at Boswell's The Journal of a Tour to the Hebrides, first published in 1785 and issued in this edition by the Limited Editions Club in 1974. Let's not beat about the bush. This is an incredibly handsome book. We receive a red slipcase shaped at the edges to fit the spine of the volume. The slipcase has a ribbon to aid with the removal of the book and a title label affixed to its spine. The book itself is quarter-bound in red cowhide leather with red marbled paper sides. The hubbed spine is blocked in pure gold leaf with the title and names of the various contributors. The binding is sewn with red and yellow head and tail bands, while the end papers are of a tan colour and bear a map showing the route of Johnson and Boswell's tour. The top edge of the text block is gilded. Within we find a very heavy ivory wove paper with an eggshell finish. The text is set in 11-point Baskerville and is quite readable, thanks largely to the modest page size. The typographic plan is due to John Dreyfus, but follows the earlier design conceived by Oliver Simon for the LEC's 1938 The Life of Samuel Johnson. The monthly letter describes the internal design as exhibiting a strong 18th century flavour and being characterised by a chaste dignity. I'd have to agree. I imagine this book would look quite at home among the many volumes on Boswell's own bookshelves. The book is illustrated with contemporary engravings by Thomas Rowlandson. Rowlandson was a caricaturist and satirical artist who lampooned Boswell and Johnson's tour through a series of prints, 10 of which are reproduced in colour here, 2 having been newly coloured for this edition. Each illustration spans a 2-page spread and is preceded with a quote from the text by way of caption. What the illustrations lack in aesthetic charm, they make up for with the insight into the public reception and wider social context of Boswell's work. The text offers a fairly dry account of the tour. It is often said that Johnson wrote about the Hebrides while Boswell wrote about Johnson. It's a bit of a shame these roles weren't reversed. Johnson may be an intellectual giant, but I personally found our brief glimpses of Boswell revealed a much more interesting and likeable character who couldn't quite escape Johnson's shadow, even in a book of his own authoring. That said, Boswell has done us a great service in preserving for posterity a slice of Johnson's famous wit and furnishing us with an important historical account of 18th century Highland life. Also included are marginal notes written by Hester Lynch Thrale Piozzi, a personal friend of Johnson's, in her own copy of the book. The book ends with a Colophon page that identifies it as one of 2,000 copies produced and is hand-numbered.